Hello, everybody. My name is Kobe Warner. This is koblizzy. Welcome back to another episode. Sorry I didn't post last week. I was out of town and I was not prepared. Full disclosure, but I'm excited to be back. And as per usual, tons to talk about. The Olympics are over. They just concluded the Olympics officially, but the Paralympics aren't over. So I actually don't know why they declared the Olympics over. Anyway, they're done. Every America did good. I didn't really watch a lot. I think I told you guys, I went to watch a little bit at the AMC, but I didn't watch very much. And then I watched a little bit at home. Most of it I saw probably on TikTok or Instagram, recaps. I'm not really a sports bitch, even during the Olympics. I'm just not. Just how I am. It's just who I am. I like tennis. Tennis is the only one that really gets me. I don't know why. Tennis is one of the things that I played or tried to play as a kid. I was so horrible. It was really bad. I tried to play a lot of sports though. Everybody in my family played basketball. That's definitely what I tried first. But I really was not that great at basketball. I really was not that good. I remember one time I took a basketball camp and it's probably early middle school, early middle school, and we were just so bad. We were playing a scrimmage. I mean, not we were so bad. I was so bad. Everybody else was so good. And we were playing a scrimmage, and I was so bad that I was somebody passed me the ball, and as soon as I got the ball, they were like, pass. They didn't even want me to dribble it. They didn't want me to have it at all because they knew I had absolutely no skill. And they were right. I didn't. And so I definitely had a lot of basketball shoes. I would go to the shoe store with my dad and get basketball shoes. Really nice shoes. I had a lot of really nice basketball shoes that were absolutely completely nowhere whatsoever because I really never played basketball. We'd go to the park once in a while and he would try, my dad would try to show me stuff. I just wasn't good. And even if I was good in the park or okay in the park, when I'd try to do it with other people, I'd get nervous. I could run. I did track in middle school. I was pretty good. I didn't even finish out this season though. Our season of track in middle school was only a month long, and I only did 3 weeks of it because I got a show. I was in a show and I couldn't miss rehearsal, or didn't want to miss rehearsal rather. Not even a week. So this sounds like I just didn't want to do the track, but I was pretty good. I won. I don't remember what I ran, but I won whatever it was. And I remember distinctly throwing up in a trash can after the race, the match, the meet, whatever it was called. I could run. Bad at basketball. I played tennis. Wasn't great at that either, but I still liked tennis. I signed up for soccer and then I quit before it started. I wasn't good at soccer either. I tried to skateboard one time. This kid in my neighborhood tried to show me how to skateboard and I fell off the skateboard and never touched a skateboard again. I went to the roller rink one time, fell on my ass, got bruises all over me, never got on a pair of roller skates again. There's an avocado roll up here in the fridge if you want it. Sounds good. Thanks, Mom. Anyway, so yeah, I wasn't athletic. And what's funny is I did gymnastics. That actually is what I was good at. I was pretty good at gymnastics, and then I got too tall, so I had to quit. I was doing Boy Scouts at the same time. I was a busy kid. Or Cub Scouts. I wasn't in Boy Scouts. I never made it there. But I was in Cub Scouts. And what else did I do? I did I was, oh my God, at church all the time. That's not a sport, but there was this guy I knew from church, Coach. Oh, I was about to say his name. There was a coach that I knew from church, and he had a sports camp, and I went to the sports camp, and at the sports camp we played football, which is when I really never played football for real, except for at the sports camp. We played football, and I really was playing. It was fun actually, and soccer and baseball. Baseball was one I was adjacent to baseball. I was friends with some kids who played baseball. But and I wore the pants. Those pants are hot as shit. I don't know how they wore those in the summer. But I never actually played. I would just show up to their little baseball game in a pair of baseball pants, just for shiggles. I don't know. It was just funny as hell. I wanted to dress the part, I guess. That's the gay in me. Okay, I'm taping. Thanks. Taping. Damn. That was really rough. That was rough. Oh, I just looked right in Beyonce's eyes. There's my favorite picture on the wall. There's a couple. There's a picture of Dolly over there I really love. A picture of Gaga with her fire bra that I really love. And then there's a picture of Beyonce right here from her 2018, I think, 17 maybe, Vogue. Vogue cover shoot shot by Tyler's Photos. Is that his name? Tyler's Photos. The first black guy to shoot the cover. Was that true? He was the first black guy or the youngest black guy? Something like that. It was something crazy. But anyway, Beyonce is looking right at me. Ariana Grande, Conan, Zendaya, Troye Sivan, even Betty White's up there. Betty White's on the calendar. Oh, the quote on August 2024 of the calendar says, "The older you get, the better you get, unless you're a banana." So with that being said, thank you, Betty White, or Rose, her character. I'm going to talk about some music, and I don't really have a song of the... I mean, maybe I do. I'll think about it in a second. But the first thing I want to tell you about is my Apple Music is doing this thing. Like, I think it started this year, where they're doing like a month-by-month recap through Apple Music Replay. Apple Music Replay is like Spotify Wrapped, and it happens every year. And they've been doing that for like as long as I've had Apple Music, like since it came out in 2015 or 16. But Spotify... they would give you like a most listened to playlist or something like that. So Apple Music has like a version of that, but now they also do this like month by month replay recap. Anyway, so that's really cool, and I want to talk about that. My July one, it's August the 12th. Oh my God, it's August the 12th. I turned 22 on June the 12th, and so I've been 22 for 2 months. Lots of twos there. And my mama's birthday is in 2 days, on the 14th, and so yeah, lots of numerology shit happening. But I just can't believe I've been 22 for 2 months. I'm like, I know 22 is not old, but I just am like, wow, time just flies. Not to get off topic, let's talk about replay. Where'd it go? Yes. Okay, let's talk about it, bitch. I love sweet tea. Jesus, that's the southern in me. So... first of all, I just want to talk about how many minutes of music I listened to in July. Like it'll tell this is in minutes. I think everybody does it like that actually. But anyway, so just for context, let's talk about the whole year. 2024, 10,700 minutes roughly in January, which is a lot. February 9,400, still a lot. Roughly, these are rough numbers. I'm just rounding. 10,300 in March. 7,500 in April, a light month. 10,700 May. 12,000 in June, which is funny because my birthday's on the 12th, and it's like literally 12,000 minutes. 14,000 in July, and that's crazy. 14,000. That's the most so far this year. So every month so far this year, Beyonce has been my top artist, and July was no different. Beyonce's number one with 1,317 minutes. Aretha Franklin is number 2 with 737 minutes. Lady Gaga is number 3 with 446 minutes. Sade is number 4 with 446 minutes. Oh my God, Lady Gaga and Sade are tied. And Destiny's Child is number 5 with 399 minutes. So those are my top 5 artists of July. That's pretty good. For comparison, in June, number 1 was Beyonce, number 2 Gaga, number 3 was Taylor Swift, number 4 was Sabrina Carpenter, and number 5 was Ariana Grande. So that was like a more pop month, and besides, actually that was like all pop. And then this month had like some Sade and some and Destiny's Child, so like a little R&B vibe. Why is it not loading now? Okay, yeah, that's June, and so back to July. Oh my god, it does 2023 month by month too. Are you serious? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to go back and look. Are you serious? Does it really? It shows you all your old replays. It does. Oh shit. I've never looked back through those. And it goes how many years back? It goes back to 2022 month by month. I'm gonna love looking at that when I get off of this podcast. Okay, so back to July. I just told you my top 5. Top 5 Beyonce. Number 1 Beyonce, 2 Aretha, 3 Lady Gaga, 4 Sade, 5 Destiny's Child. So Aretha and Sade and Destiny's Child, more R&B, soul, and then Lady Gaga and Beyonce, of course, are generally pretty pop acts. But they both actually, Lady Gaga and Beyonce, do genre shift. Gaga's gone into jazz. Beyonce's, she's done everything. Gaga's done country pop. Beyonce's done country. She's done pop. She's done R&B. She's done soul. She's done Motown. She's done rock. So is Gaga. I talked about that Rolling Stones song that Gaga has with the song she has with the Rolling Stones a couple episodes ago, if not the last episode. So yeah, I'm like, they both are pretty versatile artists, and I definitely listen to like all of their catalogs, all of it. So the top songs is actually really funny, but it's super accurate. Number one, should I start with number five and then work my way up to number one? That makes more sense, huh? I'll do that this time. So number five is Insomnia by Normani. I listened to that 17 times. That doesn't sound like that many, and it feels like I listened to it more than that, but I guess it doesn't lie. I don't know. But I love Insomnia. That's my favorite song from Normani's album. It's so good. I don't know if I've talked about it on the pod. I guess I did when I talked about the album. Probably. I love that song. It's really good. Number four, I listened to Joyride by Kesha 18 times. Number three is No Ordinary Love by Sade. I listened to that one 18 times as well. Tie with Kesha. Sade and Kesha are tied. That's funny. Number two, I listened to You Sang to Me by Mark Anthony 26 times. I really love that song too. And my favorite song of July, and probably gonna be, it's still my favorite song right now. Maybe I'll get a new favorite before the month's up of August. But Please, Please, Please by Sabrina Carpenter is number one with 28 plays. Love Please, Please, Please. I saw a Please, Please, Please. That's a hard thing to say over and over again. I saw a Please times 3 hate tweet yesterday or today, and it really like made me mad. They were like, why is she like, she doesn't sound good or something. It was something crazy, and I was like, that song is perfect. Like, I literally have been obsessed with that song since it came out, so I was gagged to read that somebody didn't like it. Anyway, my top albums. In minutes, let's talk about my top albums. I'll start with number five. It was Eternal Sunshine, the slightly deluxe version, Ariana Grande, 138 minutes. Number four was The Writings on the Wall, Destiny's Child, with 151 minutes. Love it. Number three is Sade, Love Deluxe, 178 minutes. Number two was Cowboy Carter, Beyonce, with 252 minutes. And number one is Blackout, Britney Spears, Deluxe Edition, with 259 minutes. I feel like that is such a great collection of albums. Blackout, Cowboy Carter, Love Deluxe, Writings on the Wall, Eternal Sunshine. Shut up. Like, are you kidding? That's so good. And so I listened to 14,000 minutes of music this month. 14,016 minutes. That is a lot of music. And like I said, I listened to Beyonce for 1,300 minutes. I think the most, like I said, Beyonce's number one every month so far this year. And the month that I listened to her the longest was March. I guess the month Cowboy Carter came out for 2,500 minutes, 2,474, almost 2,500. And then April was 2,237, which is not far behind. And every other month has been in the 1,000s. So yeah, love me some Beyonce. I'm not kidding when I say I am a shooter, a Beyonce shooter. I love her. Like, she is just like everything to me. She really just, I will never, I understand like the criticisms as far as the capitalism of it all. And I get all her promotional emails, so there's kind of a lot of them. Taylor Swift sends a lot too, but Beyonce, I'm like, capitalism is a thing for these rich artists. I get it, and they want to make money, and they are on a growth model basis. Like, I get that. So that's criticism worthy. But as far as Beyonce's talent goes, her ability, her performance, her resume, her track record, the longevity, the consistency, the transformability, her ability to do everything and see anything, sing anything, and the fact that you can watch any performance from anywhere and it's good, sick or otherwise, old or new, from when she was a kid all the way up until right now. Beyonce is just one of those artists that you feel lucky to live during her lifetime, because we will talk about her forever. As long as this world is here, Beyonce will be spoken about. And there are very few artists nowadays that have that. Back in the day, people that were famous artists were more famous because there was less of them. There was less access. There was no internet. So there was less people. And so the people got more famous. Now it's so many options. The oversaturation allows for anybody to have a chance, but it also it makes it harder rather for you to reach larger audiences. It's really hard to have a Sabrina Carpenter, Chapel Roan moment in 2024, you know? They're anomalies. And so, yeah, it's just Beyonce is something different, and I think everybody knows that, no matter what they say. And I think that actually is why there's so much pressure on her sometimes, like just like online or whatever. And it's a good thing she ignores it and like doesn't address it, because they go really hard on her, and I think they might go harder because she ignores them. And I think if she talked to them, they'd go even harder. So it's like a catch-22. Um, yeah, she's just my favorite of all time, and I really, really mean that when I say it. And the material is there all year long. Beyonce has been at the top. Um, I just love Beyonce. So some other songs I've been listening to. Casey Musgraves put out a deluxe version of her album Deeper Well. The original version of Deeper Well, I loved. The deluxe version, it's really cool because Tiny Habits is singing background vocals on a song. Shut the fuck up. Like, are you serious? It's called Perfection. I love it. There's a song with Leon Bridges on the deluxe version, Super Bloom. Irish Goodbyes, Beautiful, Flower Child, Little Sister, Ruthless. I love them all. I do. I love them all. I love some Casey Musgraves. Like every song, I always say Casey Musgraves is one of those artists. You can shuffle any song, and I might not know the title, I might not know the words, but I will sit there and listen because everything she sings is pretty. And it makes you feel, it makes you happy, it makes you sad. It does whatever it's supposed to do because she just really, really knows how to cut right to it. And yeah, I like her a lot. I've also been really liking Doechii. She has a single that she just put out recently called Rocket on June 28th. Like it a lot. Nissan Altima came out more recently, August the 2nd. It's freestyle, I think, that one, Nissan Altima. And I really like that one as well. Kings of Leon has an album that they put out in May. Can We Please Have Fun? And I hadn't heard it until this past week, and I listened to it a lot. I really love it. Ballerina Radio, Rainbow Ball, Nowhere to Run, Mustang, Split Screen, Nothing to Do, Ease Me On, Scene. It's a really good album. I really like the Kings of Leon. One of my favorite performances of Beyonce's actually is a cover of the Kings of Leon mashed up with a cover of Prince. The Beautiful Ones by Prince and A Sex on Fire by Kings of Leon mashed up. So good. And the last thing I'm going to talk about music-wise is Latto's new album. It is called, where is it? It's called Sugar Honey Iced Tea. It's called Shit. Sugar Honey Iced Tea. And despite the Sugar Honey Iced Tea is a cute title, and I'm glad they wrote it like that rather than writing it like shit, because that is less cute. But the album itself is I was really gooped and I like Latto. She's a great rapper. And I actually, when Queen of the South came out, I listened to that one like in real time, and I remember liking it a lot during the pandemic. So I've been around before. She's an Atlanta girl, and I've always been in Georgia. Not always, but I've been in Georgia since I was 7. So I pay attention to Georgia people. But Sugar Honey Iced Tea is like a really, really top tier album. It flows really well. It seems experimental for her. It's really on brand. It's long, in a good way. Everything about Sugar Honey Iced Tea I like. And I'm going to tell you my favorite songs. First of all, Georgia Peach, the opener, great. I really love Big Mama, which was a single. Love it. Blick Some, love it. Settle Down, love it. Brokey, H&M, Copper Cove, one of my favorites. Ear Candy, one of my favorites. Squeeze with Megan Thee Stallion, I like it. Look What You Did, featuring what's her name, Mariah the Scientist. Love that one. Shout Out to Me is the closer, really love it. And then of course Put It on the Floor and Sunday Service are on the B side of this album, and then just on streaming it's just on the same track list. And I really like those songs as well. I'm happy they included them, and I'm also happy they didn't include them in the track list and she gave us like new material throughout. I really liked that. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Khalid has a new album out that I haven't heard yet. I haven't heard it all. So I'm going to give that a second. It came out on June 14th, so I don't know how I missed that. But I have not heard it, so I'll talk about it next time. Let me go to my notes and see. Oh my God, I haven't talked about All Stars 9. Like what? I guess I forgot last week because it's on my list to talk about. I guess I was giving you guys time to watch it. But the winner of All Stars 9 was Angeria Paris Van Michaels from Atlanta, Georgia. Hello. And so that's awesome. But also it was kind of like gooped and gaggy because I really, really thought Roxy was going to win. So let me talk to you about Drag Race and give you a little back. I feel like I'm actually having deja vu that I might have told you this, but maybe I was just telling one of my friends. Sometimes I can't remember what's the podcast and what's like a FaceTime. You know what I mean? I just have it gets fuzzy. It's fuzzy. But anyway, Drag Race. I talked about in my last episode for sure that I had like a queer blind spots because I was late to the queer kind of scene, or not late, but not certainly not early. Um, and so for Drag Race, because I was young, Drag Race started in 2009, and I was 7 years old, and I was very much straight in at church in the closet at that point. And I didn't start watching Drag Race like really like immerse myself in Drag Race until 2020, and I think I did mention that in the last episode. But anyway, ever since I started watching Drag Race live and I've been watching the seasons, I've always guessed the winner at the beginning of the season, and I've always been right. The only time I was stumped was season 14. I got Willow. I was thinking it was going to be Willow near the end, but at first I thought it was going to be Cornbread, and then that got shaken up. But other than that, like I've always guessed the winner. And so I was gagged for to think it was going to be Roxy and for it to be Angeria. Not that I wasn't happy for Angeria, and you know it's just a TV show, and she really wanted to win Drag Race, so that's amazing. But it just seemed like for storyline purposes, and also the way that Roxy kind of dominated the competition. So did Angie, but Roxy really dominated the competition, and they were kind of going back and forth, blocking each other, and it just seemed like kind of Roxy was getting that winner edit. And I don't know what changed. Maybe it was like that Diana Ross talent show performance, and RuPaul maybe like really loved that or something because she loves Diana Ross so much, and Angie really was giving Diana Ross vibes there. But I just felt like based on the talent show, Georges, Plastique, and well, I don't even know. Roxy's talent show performance was good, but like I just think she should have won the season based on her season performance. And I think she could have taken that third spot, but honestly, like the top three almost could have been Georges, Plastique, and Angie. Um, and Vanjie, Miss Vanjie, Vanessa Vanjie was really great as well, but I just thought Plastique and Georges were so good, and there was only one spot left, and it just seemed like it would have gone to Roxy. But it could have been Vanjie's, it even could have been Angie's, but I just felt like Georges and Plastique, based on the talent show performance, really were going to have a spot in the top three. I didn't think either of them were going to win, per se, based on its television and storyline purposes. And after All-Star 7 and watching Monet body Jinx in the final lip sync, and then Jinx still winning the crown, even though they set the precedent that the lip sync for the crown really mattered when Shea lost to Sasha because of the rose petals. It's just weird to see them flip-flop. And so sometimes, you know, it's just a TV show. You don't know why they do what they do. But I really do wonder sometimes, why do you do what you do? I feel like I need lip balm. I'm just like, why did you do that? It just really seemed like Roxy was going to win, and I'm not like going hard on anybody, and I don't want to be like, some people online like really do too much. Like they really like do a lot about a TV show that's a TV show. And I'm not going to do anything like that. And I'm watching Canada's versus the World right now, season 2, the new one. It's like airing as we speak. I cannot find a lip balm. Like I see one on the floor underneath my dresser right there, but I'm like, can I have one that like is not going to have dust on it? Like, why are they all on the floor? I guess I'll use this Aquaphor right here. It's just not real lip balm. It's like the thick Aquaphor. But anyway, all I was saying is that I love Drag Race, and I don't watch all the international seasons, but I've seen like all the UK, I've seen Australia, I've seen Thailand, season 2, I've seen Canada versus the World 1 and 2, I've seen Canada's Drag Race, like a couple of them, not all of them. I should watch Italy. France. I need to watch France because of Nikki Doll, but I haven't seen it yet. And I should watch Italy as well. But there's so many now. It's hard to keep up. Really, it's hard to keep up. I couldn't even tell you all of the franchises. Like I don't even know what all countries have them at this point. And I feel like that happened really fast. Like in the past, like since I started watching Drag Race, all the other countries started getting it. So I guess it was getting really popular at that time. During the pandemic, did everybody start watching Drag Race? It wasn't just me. That's a question. I feel like some people like watched it. Like when did like young people start watching it? Like my generation of people that didn't come out until they were 16. You know what I mean? Like not people who are like 30 that would have watched it when it started. No shade. I'm just saying like 22 years old, 2009. Most of us were like 5, 6, or 7 or 8. And Drag Race was too mature back then, even back then for, you know, children. And it was also only on Logo, and I don't think that was in my cable package back then. So definitely wasn't watching it. Anyway, yeah, I was just shocked it was Angie. Happy for Angie, but I was shocked, I'll admit. And so the next thing I want to talk about, or first of all, let's talk about how I I posted something on my Instagram close friends. I was listening to Bad Romance earlier, and I was like marking. I have a physical calendar. I remember I was talking about Betty White, that calendar. I was like marking the days off of it. Like there was a couple of days that have passed that I didn't cross off. And as I was doing it, I was listening to Bad Romance, and I knocked over an empty glass that was sitting on my dresser, and it fell on the floor, but it fell on. It was like, dun dun boom and boom. I want your love, and it fell right on the downbeat of the chorus, and it shattered and went everywhere. But it was so cut, and it kind of reminded me of that performance where Lady Gaga performed Bad Romance, I think, in Speechless, maybe, on an award show, and there was like broken glass, and she was like smashing bottles, and so it reminded me. It felt referential, and so I literally wasn't even mad because I was like, that was crazy, but also the glass is just out there in a dustpan because I'm like, what do you do with this? Like I don't know what to do with it, and I couldn't find a shop vac. Like I don't know where people put stuff in this house, so couldn't find a shop vac. And so I had to like sweep it, and I still like I see a little piece of glass right there, so I'm gonna have to like take care of that. I had shoes on, but anyway, I just like literally wasn't mad because it fell on the beat. Isn't that funny? Like, had it not fallen on the beat, would I gotten upset? Would I have got upset? Probably, because I've been like, damn. But because it fell on the beat, I was just so gagged. Cause I was like, what are the chances? And it was an accident, obviously. Like I wouldn't have just pushed it on the beat for the effect of nobody to see. There's no cameras in here. At least none were rolling at that point. Um, anyway, so I just thought that was funny. Also, this morning I put together the bathroom. I in the basement of this house, like there's this room which is a bedroom, or I mean it's a room that's the size of a bedroom and it has two windows, and so this is where my bed is and all my shit. You know what I mean? But then there's like a whole space out there that's like basementy. There's no windows. It's like half the basement's underground, half of it isn't. So I have windows in here. There's windows out there, but over there's no windows, and that's where like the couch and the drums and the keyboard and the bass and the acoustic guitar and all, and like I have a garment rack over there, and like all my suits, all the clothes and shit are out there, right? And then the bathroom, the point I'm making is I'm not sure that this was like meant to be a livable space per se. Not there, because there's a room and there's a bathroom and there's like everything, but the bathroom has absolutely no storage whatsoever. Like there's no closet, there's not a single cabinet. The sink is like a basin sink with like a really skinny pole. There's absolutely no storage under the sink. You literally can barely fit a bottle of soap on the ledge of the sink without knocking it off when you turn the water on. Like it's crazy. There's no storage in there. So I put together a little thing that goes over the toilet that has like shelves, you know what I'm talking about, like a storage thing. So I put that together today. Honestly, I'm really good at putting stuff together. Like I read the directions. I'll like get the stuff out and I'll A B C D E F G all the parts. Like I'll look at them and see what's what, and I will really really try to read the directions. And every single time I make a mistake, but I always have to go back and fix something. But at least every time it's something that's fixable. And when I was I forgot to tell you I went to Brunswick. That's literally why I didn't post an episode last week. But anyway, while I was at home, I helped. What did I do? Oh, me and Miss Girl, my friend Julia, built a TV stand from Target. Like I don't know why I just did that hand motion. Like you'd know what that meant. But it was like a TV stand. Like, does that make sense? It's like that TV stand right there that you can't see. But anyway, we put it together, and I'm just like, I'm not bad at stuff like that. I really am not. So also something that's super exciting before I talk about what I like my final hurrah, like my really big thing. I think it's gonna take a long time, is why I say I'm gonna talk about it last. A couple things I want to mention. One, I'm so excited. I'm doing Rocky Horror in October, and I don't even know if I've mentioned that on the pod yet, but I'm playing Frank, Dr. Frankenfurter, in a Rocky Horror Picture Show in October in my hometown at the historical Ritz Theater in downtown Brunswick, Georgia. And what's crazy is that historical Ritz Theater, it's been there forever. It's haunted as shit, I swear to God. I've done a couple of shows there and dance showcases and all kinds of shit over the years when I was a kid. But what's the coolest thing is that the very first play I ever did as a 7-year-old in a summer camp was at that theater with my friend Georgia. And I think she played my wife at that time. And yeah, it's just crazy because I'm 15 years later. That's nuts. 15 years later, I'm gonna go back and play Dr. Frankenfurter, which is my one and only dream role. After I graduated high school, the last role I played in high school was Angel in Rent, another drag queen, actually. But we were gonna do The Wizard of Oz for our senior show, and then it got canceled because of COVID. And so I was gonna be the Scarecrow, and then I never got to be the Scarecrow. And so the last role that I played officially, I was also gonna play Higa 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 in Frozen, which is so silly. Looking back, because I don't think I could have done that accent. But anyway, Frozen and The Wizard of Oz got canceled, so Angel was it. And after that, like when I was in college, right before I left school early, I was gonna be in a musical. That was like it was like a new work. Like the guy had just written it. You wouldn't know it obviously because it's like it was a new work. But anyway, I didn't end up doing a musical because I left school early, and so I haven't done a show since Rent. And after all this time, I'm like, I like musical theater, but honestly, it feels like something that's passed to me. I love performing, and I like writing original music and being koblizzy and performing like that. I don't really like to play characters on stage anymore. But the only character that I've always said I would drop everything in a minute to go play is Dr. Frankenfurter. And it's a role I play over and over again for the rest of my life until the end of my days. I love Dr. Frankenfurter, and I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I just love it. And I'm so excited to get to play Frank this October 29th, 30th, and 31st. 3 performances and a couple weeks of rehearsal. But I'm just so excited. And the reason I say that is because I'm looking on the floor over there. The director, who I worked with a lot as a kid, he sent me the script. And I've been looking through the script and the vocal score. And just, I'm so excited listening to the soundtrack. There's a Roxy soundtrack, which is like the official cast recording, really the first one. I've done a lot of research. They started in London at the Royal Court Theatre and went to the Roxy in LA, and that's where they did the soundtrack recording, and that's what my script says is the Roxy Theatre. And then 1973 was Royal Court, 1974 was the Roxy Theatre, 1975 is when the movie came out, and it's the same year they went to Broadway. And Tim Curry was involved in all of those productions: Royal Court, Roxy, Broadway, and LA. And I mean, yes, LA, Broadway, and then the movie, of course. And then after that, Tim Curry didn't want to come back and do a sequel or anything, so they made a movie called Shock Factor instead that was based in Denton, which is where the castle is and where Brad and Janet are from. And that spinoff was surrounded around Brad and Janet. I only watched a little bit of it the other day, and a lot of the jokes I heard were kind of racist. I didn't really watch it. And Rocky Horror really doesn't talk about race at all, so I find it interesting that that's, I guess, Denton, Ohio, maybe that's what they were doing back then. I really don't know. He was just like, he was like, you know, your dad doesn't like Mexicans. And I was like, what is this movie talking about? What is, I only watched a couple minutes, so maybe I was lacking context and it's supposed to be funny or something. But anyway, so based on all that, I've read a lot about Rocky Horror and a lot about the people that made it, and how a lot of the people that were involved in those early productions, it was the same team for the first couple of years, from London to LA to New York and Broadway, as well as the movie. And there's a lot of cult, like classic. The house it was filmed in is a lot of other things were filmed there. There's a set piece from Frankenstein, all this lore, you know. And I'm just excited to play Frank. I'm really, really excited to play Frank. Yeah. So that's all about that. And then the next thing is that Dance Moms. There's a new show called Dance Moms, A New Era. And it's funny because I just finished rewatching the original Dance Moms and Abby's Dance Company, which I hadn't watched since I was a kid. And I was rewatching them just because I wanted to. And I just finished a couple months ago. And now, perfect timing, they made a new Dance Moms. And it's A New Era with Studio Blue, which is a studio that ALDC used to compete against on the original Dance Moms. And I'm obsessed. I've only watched the first episode and like half of the second episode, but I'm obsessed. I wasn't sure that I really honestly wasn't sure that the show would work with another dance team. And boy, did I underestimate how true it was that everybody is replaceable, because it works just fine. They are just as interesting. I love the teacher. Like, it's a really, I only have seen the 2 episodes. My only complaint, it only has 10 episodes in the season. That's criminal. Never do that again. Put 25 episodes in the season like you did Dance Moms. Please and thank you. But other than that, loving it. Really, really loving it. I've only seen an episode and a half. So Dance Moms, New Dance Moms, Dance Moms, A New Era, whatever it's called. Yeah, you get a thumbs up from me. I am into it. And so now I'm going to take a sip of sweet tea. It's all gone. Okay, now I'm going to talk about these DVDs. Oh shit. Okay, so first and foremost, I actually maybe should have waited to do this until next week because I just ordered some new DVDs and some new CDs. But the new CDs I got recently are Billie Eilish, "Hit Me Hard and Soft," and Zayn's album. What's this album called? "Room Under the Stairs." I really like this album, even though I don't know the title. I don't think there's a song. There's no song called "Room Under the Stairs," so I just forgot. But anyway, those two albums I bought a couple weeks ago. I have a couple more coming in the mail, but I guess I'll just show them to you when they get here. I'll show you next week. And then I decided recently that the same way that I collect CDs, and I have like probably about 115 to 130 CDs now, I want to start collecting movies that way because I feel like the streaming commodity for movies is very similar to that of music, and I want to have physical copies of stuff. So I bought some new movies offline, just really Beyonce ones, and the rest of these are from the thrift store. And they're very, very cheap now because they're not popular, and they're in great condition because this thrift store really quality control is really good with the DVDs for some reason. And so these are the movies that I got at the thrift store, and I'm going to start collecting DVDs again, which is funny because when we moved from my childhood house in Golden Isles up here in 2020, right before I went to college, we got rid of most of the DVDs. We kept like the couple of favorites, but we got rid of almost all the DVDs. And I got rid of the CDs that I had. I didn't have that many, but I got rid of the couple CDs that I had. And then I decided literally like a year later I was going to start collecting CDs. And here I am 3 or 4 years later collecting DVDs, which I got rid of. Isn't that funny? But anyway, the first one's The Birdcage. Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. Really funny movie if you haven't seen it. Matilda. This is a movie. It says 777 on it, which is so con. I didn't even know that. I love an angel number. Matilda was one of my favorite movies growing up. I've always been the same way. Like when I was a kid, I would rewatch the same movies over and over. Matilda, Mary Poppins, SpongeBob the TV show. Not a movie, I know, but I'd watch it over and over again. I love The Nutty Professor. Just stupid shit. I'd watch the same movies over and over. Hannah Montana, the movie. I'd watch them same High School Musical. Same ones over and over again. Dreamgirls, another one. Loved this movie, but that was like more of a middle school thing. The Devil Wears Prada. Love this movie. You see what I'm saying? These are like classic movies. Beauty Shop, Queen Latifah. Like, shut up. I love this. What's this? Batman Begins. Brand new in the box. That's crazy. Batman Begins. I didn't even realize that one was new. Click, Adam Sandler. One of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. It made me cry the first time I watched it all the way through. It's really good. Oh my god, one of my favorite movies of all time, A Medea Christmas. I love Medea movies. You know what? Let's talk about it. When I was in Brunswick, or in the Golden Isles, I was on St. Simon's at this coffee shop that I love called Wake Up. And I saw this girl from high school that I do not like. And I'm not going to put her on blast, even though I could, but I don't like her. And the reason I don't like her is because years ago, I'll never forget this, I said something about how I loved a Medea movie. I don't remember if I was talking about this one or something else that I'd watched. I was like, oh my god, ha ha ha, so funny. In science class, just saying that I'd watched this movie yesterday, flippantly. And she said, yeah, my mom said Medea movies are for ghetto black people. And I was like, oh, so you guys are fucking racist. And she didn't even realize that she had just told me how racist they were. And I never forgot that. So when I saw her at the coffee shop, it's probably been 5 years since that happened. I looked at her like this and looked the hell away because I don't forget shit like that. And I do hold grudges. Anyway, that's all. Matilda, Dreamgirls, Devil Wears Prada, When Harry Met Sally. That's a good movie. I don't even know if I've seen the whole thing, but I will now. I have the DVD. But I definitely have seen like half of it. I think I fall asleep on movies a lot. Pitch Perfect. Love this one. Pitch Perfect. I was talking to my friend Bella one day and I was like, oh my god, they should totally make a movie about like people who go to like a music school and they like live like together and like sing. And she was like, Pitch Perfect. And I was like, oh, I guess they did make the movie. Big Mama's House. As you can see, I have exquisite movie taste. Big Mama's House. Valentine's Day. This movie has so many people in it. It's just kind of iconic. The Proposal, Sandra Bullock, Ryan Reynolds. I don't even know if I've seen that movie. Actually, did I watch this recently? I don't know if I've seen that movie, to be honest. But I love Sandra Bullock. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. One of the first Medea movies. Love it. A Perfect Murder. I have not seen this movie, but it sounded really good. It has Gwyneth Paltrow in it. Bitch, I knew the thrift store was clutch when it had Gold Member, the Austin Powers movie with Beyonce in it. And they had like 3 copies of it. I was like, you guys are nuts, and also, I'll take it. Thank you. A Haunted Mansion, the original Haunted Mansion from the 90s with Eddie Murphy, not the new one. But it was good, the new one. But I like the old one more. The Dark Knight, to go with the Batman Begins. I didn't get all the Batman movies, but I got like 3. I got like half of them. Julia Roberts, Aaron Brockovich. Yep. Batman Returns. Beyonce live at Roseland, Elements of 4. This one's new. Beyonce, I Am Yours, an intimate performance at Wynn, Las Vegas. Beyonce, the Beyonce Experience live. That's my favorite of this DVD. And then I got one more Beyonce DVD coming. I Am World Tour, I think, is coming. So yeah, these are the DVDs that I've gotten over the past couple of weeks. And I'm going to keep collecting them. And I'm going to get like a shelf for all my CD cases and these DVDs. I found one on Amazon that I like. Definitely going to get that. And then I'm going to display them like in the background of this podcast, probably. Or wherever it will probably be in the background of where I shoot, is what I'm saying. But yeah, so I really am liking the physical media thing, just because I feel like the streaming like online is really impermanent. And like even like I'll buy movies on like iTunes or Amazon. I buy movies on both iTunes and Amazon sometimes. But if you read the fine print, like those licenses, like they could just expire at any moment and they could like take the movie away. And even if you've bought it, it's just like an extended rental sometimes because they'll just disappear. Excuse me. So I just think that's crazy. But yeah, so I want to buy DVDs again, and they're really cheap right now. And so are CDs because neither of those things are popular. Right now, like streaming and online movies are popular and vinyl is popular. And so DVDs and CDs under the radar and being sold really cheap, and everybody's giving away their really good movies to the thrift store that I go to that I'm not going to tell you about because you're not going to go buy the movies because I am. And that's that. So yeah, this was a really fun episode. The last thing I want to talk about is right here. Last night, or as I'm taping this, it was last night, Miley Cyrus was honored with she became the youngest person to be a Disney legend. The first Disney legend the reason I became aware of this Disney legend thing, like this Disney legend status, is because of one of the most ethereal people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting in my life. The coolest, just nicest lady ever, Mrs. Jodi Benson, the voice of Ariel, the voice of Barbie in A Toy Story. She's just done everything and she's been everywhere. She was nominated for a Tony in 1992, just looked it up, which is 3 years after The Little Mermaid, for leading actress in Crazy for You. I mean, Jodi Benson is an icon and a legend, and she is a Disney legend. And that's why I became aware of this Disney legend status. So when I saw early this year that Miley was going to be inducted into the Disney legend, I was very excited. I was very, very excited. And so I just think that it's cool that Disney's like starting to embrace Miley again, you know, because obviously there was a period of time there where they didn't really want to associate their brand with hers. But I also just love Miley Cyrus. Like Hannah Montana really did raise me. And I've talked about that a lot on this podcast, but like it was like formative to my like elementary school years. I'm so serious. Like I deeply loved that show more than anything. I connected with it so much, and I don't know why. Maybe it had to do with something about living a double life, but I really, really connected to Hannah Montana, and I just have always loved it. And I wish I could reach over there and grab the Hannah Montana book, but it's behind the CD player. But there's a book right there that I've showed you before on this podcast that I've had it. I had one in 3rd grade, and I've since bought another one off like eBay or something so I could replace it because I tore the one up from 3rd grade. But I just love Hannah Montana, and I think it's so cool that Miley Cyrus finally got those flowers from Disney. And it's cool that she's the youngest person to be inducted into Disney Hall of Fame, and Raven-Symoné should be next year. You heard me, Disney, Raven-Symoné. So I'm really, really... Also, Coco Jones, by the way, just put out, Disney put out this version of Almost There of Coco Jones, and she's like... It's like a different version of the song. It has like a beat. And I am kind of confused, actually, by the arrangement. I don't know what the purpose was, but also, are they trying to tell us that she's going to be Princess Tiana in the live-action version? Because that would be actually really a good thing, and I'll take it. And Anika Noni Rose can maybe play her mom now. She's the original Princess Tiana. I don't know if she's too young to play mom, but she can play her mom maybe. And then also, can Brandy be in it somehow? Like, first of all, Jennifer Lewis can come back and play Mama, like Grandma Odie, like, or Mama Odie, whatever her name is. She can easily play her. And then, like, who, if they want a famous person in it, they could get Sabrina Carpenter to play the blonde girl if they're not going to let her play Rapunzel, which I don't think they are. So Sabrina Carpenter can make a cameo as the friend, maybe. Huh? Is that fun? I don't know who could play Prince Naveen, but I know that I need Brandy. They need to write Brandy a role. Like, I don't think there's a part for her, but she needs to be in the movie. Just saying. I don't even think that's too far out of the realm of possibility because she has that relationship with Disney. But anyway, Disney, call me if you have any other questions about what I think you should do for the Princess and the Frog live action. But y'all love to make live action so much, y'all probably gonna do it anyway, huh? Coco's a good choice though. So I don't even know there's anything else to talk about, you guys. I just love you, Miley Cyrus. You're so cool, and I would love to meet her. I feel like that's one of those people that she would just be cool as shit, you know. So congratulations on becoming a Disney legend. And I have glass to clean up, you guys, from that glass that shattered earlier during Bad Romance. I'll talk to you next time, next week. This was fun. I honestly, like, when I was getting ready to tape about this podcast earlier, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about today. It's funny, though. Sometimes I think that, and then I always sit down and find something to talk about. Always. Every single time. Bye-bye.